Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. Just give me 1 second to turn the sound down. I hope you're all having a great Monday morning. It is a bank holiday here. It is also a bank holiday in America. There's no American markets today. Please make sure you understand that. So low volume day today. No markets in America. I don't know where else has a bank holiday around the world, but we have one here as well. It's nice and quiet. Now, you will notice, in honor of the latest rug pull pump and dump scheme, we have an Argentinian hat sitting to your left of the screen as you're looking. That is in honor of all of those people who decided to do what I have been telling you not to do for the last 2 years, and that is buy stupid meme coins from projects who are out simply to detach you from your hard-earned gains. So the theme of the show today is where's the ball? The very first tweet that I'm going to show you will explain what I am talking about. We are going to go through Mad Charles. What is he going on about? We are going to talk about Libra, of course. There's a lot to discuss. We're going to talk about the ADA ETF. We're going to talk about Mantra. Is XRP going to outperform Ethereum? We're going to talk about Sam Altman versus Elon Musk. And then we are going to give you any conclusions that we've got at the end of the stream. I'm going to tell you now, this stream is likely to overrun because there has been breaking news left, right, and center to do with Libra. And I'm going to cover it all because that's what I do. A few good mornings to you in chat. Kishan is here, Hidden Agendas is here, Moneymake is here, KB is here, Velvet Rope, Kabir, Solo Sky, Cyberpunk Danny, good morning to you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We are just under 196,000. We're going to 200,000 today. And of course, it has been another week, another rug pull, and we are going to get into that. The theme of this stream today is Argentina has just killed the meme season. I made a video about this yesterday, as well as making a video about Ondo. I talked about how meme coins in 2025 are not worth it. That doesn't mean that meme coins from 2023 and 2024 are not worth it. Let me make myself very clear. There have been some interviews with CoinZilla, or CoffeeZilla, sorry, which are just incredible, absolutely incredible what these people have done and how much money they have made. I am going to try and get through the entire stream today without coughing once. Not much chance of it happening. Let's get into it. So 96,200. We're down a bit. We're at 97.4 all weekend. Ethereum is having a bit of a pump, 27.36, 35. XRP coming in, still under $3. Still think we're going to go to $4 sooner rather than later. BNB is up very lightly, still under $700 where it peaked a few days ago, maybe a week ago now. Solana has taken a hammering. I'm going to talk about that. There is a reason, in my opinion, why that has happened. Doge is down a bit. Cardano is up. Overall, I think we've got a mixed bag. Sonic is up, Pancakes up, Aave, Ronin, a few others are up. Not expecting to see too much in the way of losers either. Dupe on Solana is down. Radium on Solana is down. Trump on Solana is down. Solana is down. Jito on Solana. Bonk on Solana. You get the idea. Clearly you get the idea. We are going to talk all about that. I don't want to spend too much time on these because we have a lot to get through. I did put a poll out on Telegram as well, and I said, very simply, are the streams at a good pace for you? Do you want them to go faster? Do you want them to go slower? What I'm probably going to do is Wednesday, maybe Thursday and Friday, is ask the same thing in chat and see what your opinion is. Now then, this is where's the ball, okay? This is what crypto degens have been doing for the last 6 months, okay? I am not saying that this is you. Let me make that very clear, okay? Everybody watches the meme coin go up. Everybody watches the meme coin go down. It goes up, and then it disappears. And you're left wondering, where's the ball? Okay? And in this case, where's my money? And the very simple fact is that that man who's made the ball disappear has made your money disappear. And you're wandering around like a lost little puppy, wondering why you're $100, $200, $500 lighter because you bought ball with dog coin or cat with mouse coin or what other ridiculous coin has been released. Don't fall for the trick, okay? Think about it. Next time you see on Twitter another one of these tweets about buying into the Saudi Arabia meme coin, ask the question, where's my ball? And the ball should be in your pocket. The ball should stay in your pocket because there is nobody else to blame other than you for pressing that button and buying those stupid coins. Greed is the reason we are having these problems. Not meme coins, as I said, not Murad, not Ansem. None of these people are to blame for what's going on. It's the degens out there. Now, again, most of you don't buy these meme coins. I'm not aiming this directly at you. I am talking about the crypto Twitter crowd. Now then, this was going to be one of the big breaking news of the day, and that is Plan B. Plan B has produced the stock to flow model, the chart that explains where he thinks Bitcoin is going to go over the next 6 months, 5 years, whatever it might be. And he's been fairly accurate over the last 10 years. He put this post up, which has had a ridiculous number of views. I have transferred my Bitcoin to ETFs. Yes, I know, not your keys, not your coins. It's just easier for me to manage Bitcoin the same way as equities and bonds. Also, not having the hassle with keys gives me peace of mind. I guess I'm not a maxi anymore. Okay, number one, Bitcoin is about freedom. Bitcoin is about choice. If Plan B wants to put his Bitcoin into ETFs and their spot Bitcoin ETFs, there is nobody in the world that should say anything against that. It's his personal choice. Do I think any less of Plan B for doing this? No. Do I tell you to keep your crypto on exchanges? Yes, I do. So I have been telling you the same thing for 2 years. It's easier said than done. Not your keys, not your crypto. When somebody has no idea what a cold storage wallet is, when somebody has no idea what a seed phrase is, and you idiots are telling people to go and put their hard-earned money on little electronic sticks, which they're going to lose, then they are the problem, not the likes of Plan B. If Plan B wants to put his money into the ETFs, what is the problem? What is the problem? Let me read some chats. Solana monthly chart suggests it doesn't trend for next month. Well, I've got my price predictions for Solana, which we're going to go through. What dog is in the background wasn't interested in the ball? That dog in the background not interested in the ball, that's me. Okay, I am not interested in the ball. I am going to call myself the Crypto Roy Keane from now on. I like that title because it sums me up. Okay, I am miserable. I give the worst, lowest price predictions probably in crypto. I am not a perma bear, but I'm the worst bull. I'm that bull that climbs out of the cave with fur falling off his back, yawning, and then just looks how bright it is and goes back to sleep. I am the worst bull you've ever seen. Right then, influencers. Again, this is the theme that I want to talk about today. We're going to talk about it more when we talk about Libra. But Ben Cowan has been saying the same thing that I have been saying again for a long time. Meme coins offer blanket allocations to as many calls as they can. What is a call? Key opinion leader, big posh fancy word for an influencer, or as I call them, a shillfluencer. They get paid to tweet. Now, I haven't got any of them left, but I received 5 meme coin emails, messages on Twitter over the weekend. 5. I normally get 1 or 2. I got 5, all asking me to tweet about a meme coin and all offering me various amounts of money from $25 to $200 to do that. Now, that would have made me, I don't know, let's say $200 for doing that. Now, imagine somebody 100 times the size of me. Imagine somebody with 1 million or 2 million followers on crypto. Imagine how much they are paid to type 200 characters and paste a link onto Twitter. $100,000, $50,000 for 5 minutes work. you understand why these influencers hype everything so much. And they hype things today that they don't talk about tomorrow. And the reason is they're not paid to talk about it tomorrow, they're paid to talk about it today. And what you want to do is find people who talk about the same coins every week, not the ones that talk about Libre, Trump, Melania, Barron, Dog, whatever it might be. They dump on you. They get the tokens first. You then see the token tweeted by them as you buy to send the price up. They dump on you. Okay? This is a current theme, but it's not a current theme that hasn't been happening for a minute. It's been happening for 2 or 3 years. People have made themselves millionaires just out of having followers on Twitter and tweeting about stupid meme coins. Now then, this is the cover of what happened on Libra. Argentinian president tweets about a token. It goes to $4.5 billion in 2 hours. Insiders pull out 87 million. The token crashes 90%. The president deletes the tweet, denies involvement, and then the token dumps another 60%. So what are we trading tomorrow? And this isn't the first one. This is not the first one. There have been many more of these going around. And we're going to look at it in a minute, and I'm going to tell you why it's terrible for Solana in the short term, terrible for Solana, not terrible in the long term. Michael Saylor proposes the United States government to acquire 20% of Bitcoin. I will rephrase this for you. The man that owns a massive amount of Bitcoin suggests that the biggest country in the world in terms of finance should go and buy 20% of the token that he holds. What's the difference between this and what I have just told you about shillfluencers? Nothing. There's no difference. He's telling them the biggest player in the market to go and buy a token. That's exactly what Crypto Banter do. It's what Cryptos R Us does. It's what any big influencer that you know that tweets about meme coins, it's exactly what they do. Okay? They are doing no different to what Michael Saylor is doing. Michael Saylor has probably 50 or 200 or $100 billion worth of reasons for him to do this. But there's no difference. Everybody is trying to attract people's attention. It doesn't mean he is as bad as these shillfluencers, because he's never going to dump. But bear in mind, there is very little difference when it comes down to it. Now then, again, we've got some charts to look at in a minute. And this, I think, the charts we're going to look at should also coincide a lot with what Dan is talking about. It doesn't matter which metric or chart I look at. For me personally, there is little sign that the market has topped. You're going to hear this an awful lot from people. The market has topped. It hasn't topped. The charts and the things that I look at don't tell me we've topped. Not because of what's gone before. God, I sound like Kamala Harris. Don't look at what's gone before. Look at what's about to go forward. Whatever crap she said. There is so much positive, bullish news about to happen that we can't possibly have topped, not just in crypto, but in the stock market as well. There's too much bullish news to come out. That's what I would base it on. But the charts still hold up. And I said this very thing, did I not, on Friday? Why are you so bearish when we are 10% off all-time highs? And Dan Crypto Trades has said the same thing today. Any indicator or metric doesn't show any sign of a top to me and hasn't done so since the start of this cycle. Again, be very, very careful to listen to people online that tell you it's all over. It's not all over. It's not all over until the fat lady sings, and she has not even started to clear her throat yet. Now then, lastly, before we get into look at the dollar index and we look at Bitcoin dominance, things like that, this is an interesting one. It's not quite QE because it's short term. But last Wednesday, the Treasury General Account started to look at what it was going to do with the 842 billion that it had. That's a lot of money to put into the market. We are going to see this money filter through, and when we print money, what happens to Bitcoin? It goes up. Very simply put. So that is what they are thinking. We're not going to go through any of this, but the point of the matter is money goes up, Bitcoin goes up, because the amount of dollars in circulation over time will devalue the dollar, but it will increase the value of Bitcoin. Very simple. I said I was going to try not to cough, and I'm going to try not to cough. Right then, this is the US dollar index, which hopefully will show you where we are. Now, I said, again, probably, when was this? January time it must have been. This is the weekly chart. In January, I said we needed to see Bitcoin dominance start to fade a little bit. It was getting too high for our liking. And remember, rule of thumb is this does this, Bitcoin goes down. The strength of the dollar goes up, the strength of Bitcoin goes down, or the price of Bitcoin goes down. And we said I wanted a rejection, and we got the rejection. And then I said it would be great if it could come back down to the bull market support band, as I'm sure many of you will remember, and look exactly where we are. We've come back down to the bull market support band, okay? I am not a soothsayer. I don't have a crystal ball. I say this all the time. All I do is look at patterns on the chart. That is all I do. And if anybody tells you any different, they are fibbing to you. They're trying to sell you a crap coin. Now, where would I like us? And this is the key. Where would I like us to come to? I would like us to come to about there, which is currently 106. Now, 106.8, 106, it doesn't sound an awful lot, except if we get to this line, it means we have broken through the base of the bull market support band. And if we break the bull market support band, what we want to see is something, what we want to see is something like what has happened every other time we have broken below the bull market support band. We have come down to this line here. Now, this line here, if we're talking about the end of the bull cycle, I think the DXY needs to be somewhere near 100, 99, 101, something like that. That's where I think we need to go. Now, we've broken below it, yes, and we've wicked to this line, and this is going back only to about end of this, 2022, so it's only 2 and a bit years, but we come back down this far. Now, we've not been as high as this before, so maybe we don't come down this far, but I would like to see us come down there, and we don't always get what we like. We do want the BMX for Christmas. Sometimes we don't get it. Sometimes we get a stick of coal and an orange. Well, that's one for the old people out there. So that's where I want us to come. What I think is likely to happen in the short term is we bounce a little bit, but a weak dollar is good for exports. Trump wants exports. Trump wants people to buy American goods. You don't buy American goods when they're overly expensive. So you make the dollar cheaper. Making the dollar cheaper is going to push us down there. Pushing us down there pushes Bitcoin up. Now, that is not the only simplistic way of looking at things. There is confluence amongst other charts, because it's not just Bitcoin. It's not just the DXY that we need to come down. We need to see the money printer turn on. We need to see the strategic reserve. There's loads of other things that we need to see. Now, Bitcoin dominance, again, has been very much like a runaway train for a very long time, okay? We've been talking about this, funnily enough, since November 2022. November 2022 is when Bitcoin dominance started its ascent of Kilimanjaro. And ever since probably, let's say October last year, we've got into this kind of range where we have wicked above it, and Bitcoin dominance is in this range, which is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And what do you think I want to see happen here? Well, if we want an alt season, we certainly don't want a 62% Bitcoin dominance. We don't want a 60% Bitcoin dominance. We want to see an absolute capitulation in Bitcoin dominance. I don't think that's going to happen today. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. it might not very well happen for the rest of this year. We might look at the Bitcoin chart in a minute. We might be looking at 60 to 64% for the next 6 months, okay? Because for alt season to happen, we need Bitcoin, the Bitcoin dominance to break down. That means that the alts outperform Bitcoin. We're about to go into QE, cutting interest rates, the strategic reserve. Every state, I think there's 22 states now looking to introduce a Bitcoin strategic reserves themselves. We might have China, we might have America. We've got America allegedly flying in tons of gold from the Bank of England where it has been stored. We might have Doge looking at the gold reserves in America. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know there's going to be movement in Bitcoin pretty soon. But that move might just push the price of Bitcoin up, okay? I have a 1% worry at the back of my mind that Bitcoin dominance isn't going to slow down for a very long time. I said it would break down at the start of the year because that's what it normally does. But the strategic reserve and everything else, it could keep us going for a while longer. Maybe we go to the summer. Maybe we go to the autumn. There's a good chance, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a good chance we might not have Bitcoin dominance breakdown. And if it doesn't break down, we don't get the alt season. It's very simple. We can't have the alts running and Bitcoin dominance going higher. They don't live together. That doesn't mean that all alts are going to stay low. If you've got a $20 chain link and Bitcoin goes up by 20%, Chainlink can still go up 10 or 15%, but it will lag Bitcoin. So we can still have the dollar value of Chainlink or Dupe or Ethereum go up. But if it's not going up faster than Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance is not going to break down. So we need to look at that. Now, I'm going to give you some hopium because I know you guys love hopium. Okay? Hopium is good. Hopium is what we need. This is the total market cap of crypto, which topped out here at, what's that, 3.64 trillion. So what are we down? 10, 11% from where we are. And look at where we have come to. We have come to the total market cap bull market support band. A lot of people don't agree that these moving averages should be applied to absolutely everything. But I am a northerner. I have toast with everything. And I have the bull market support band with everything. And we've come down and we've got to this fib level and it looks like we're bouncing. So the hopium is this. And to support the hopium, we have total 3 to show you. And total 3 is, of course, the total market cap excluding if the chart loaded in time, that would have looked brilliant, but it didn't load in time, so I had to pause too long. And this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, this, as if by magic, I am the Darren Brown of crypto today. As if by magic. What's total 3 done? It's also bounced off its bull market support band. Okay, so we're in a situation where you have people telling you that the bull run is over. And I am showing you absolutely every reason in the world why it isn't. The DXY has come down to its bull market support band. It's already started to fall. I have showed you that the total and total 3s are both looking like they're about to bounce off the bull market support band, which means that they will move up. Okay? It can, of course, break down, as can anything, as can everything. Okay? And the final chart, before we start talking about the macro a little bit, is this one. And this is the saddest chart you've seen. This is the chart where I should be playing a violin. And this is bad. This is real bad. But this is also not just Ethereum. This is everything against Bitcoin. I didn't manage it without coughing. Right then. Just to put this into context, this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. And for those of you that have no idea what any of that is, Very simply put, how many Ethereum do you need to buy 1 Bitcoin? Now, there are various lines up here. Let's just make sure I get the right one. So let's just take that line there. Oh, hang on, wrong line. Let's just show you what we're talking about. So if we go back to 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, 11 Ethereum would buy you 1 Bitcoin 4 years ago. And then we had this slow descent into madness. And as far back as September last year, 25 Ethereum could buy you 1 Bitcoin. Not today, my friends, not today. Today, 36 Ethereum will buy you 1 Bitcoin. What does that mean? It means had you held 1 Bitcoin, you could only buy 11 Ethereum 4 years ago. Now you can buy 36 Ethereum. So Bitcoin has outperformed Ethereum by what? 320%. So has holding Bitcoin as the main part of your portfolio all along been the right move? Absolutely, of course it has. But look at what happens when we see the breakdown. Okay? All of those terribly drawn lines are showing you what happens when Bitcoin dominance breaks down. Look at that move. Now, March, which is 6 weeks away. No, it's not even 6 weeks away. It's 4 weeks away, middle of March, okay? We were down near this 30 Ethereum per Bitcoin. By the December of the same year, we'd gone to 11. So Ethereum had outperformed Bitcoin by 200 or 300% in 9 months. So although this seems to have taken an eternity to break down, it requires a very short period of time to do this. And all of this, okay, you've heard the expression. We have an expression, you need the patience of a saint. This is what you need the patience of a saint for, because you don't get forever to make your gains. If you think that your alts are going to go up 20x and stay there forever, you are sadly mistaken. You're going to have a 2-month window in which to sell your alts. Traditionally, it's 8 weeks, start to finish. The start of the move up, the start of the move down is 8 weeks. It was like that in 2021 and 2017. Maybe it's different this time, but I'm sticking with that. So Bitcoin breaking down will be fast and it will be violent. The question is, when is it going to happen? And we're going to have a look at the Bitcoin chart in a bit, but it might not be when we think. It might take a hell of a lot longer to break down. Right then, very quickly, before we get into the headline, which is Crazy Charles. I call him Crazy Charles. I don't think he's crazy. I actually quite like Charles Hoskinson. He's outspoken, and he's been outspoken forever and a day, and Cardano took forever to build. And this is one of those things where I just didn't expect Charles to come out with this kind of headline, okay? It's not the kind of headline Charles was come out with, but you got to remember, read between the lines. Why is Charles saying $250,000 Bitcoin? Because Cardano is trying to become a side chain, a layer 2, a connected chain to Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it, whatever they've decided to call it. And that's going to happen this year. So Cardano is going to be able to process Bitcoin transactions this year. He wants to demonstrate it probably at the Bitcoin conference towards the end of this year. He is sitting with Donald Trump and Brad Garlinghouse and many other people in the crypto committees in America right now. So he seems to have switched his stance a little bit to be more bullish. Maybe Trump put his arm around Charles and said, don't worry, Charles, everything's going to be huge. Maybe Charles took that as inspiration. Charles has predicted a $250,000 Bitcoin target for this cycle. That is a substantially higher price target than I have got, which is about 150 to 180,000. But what do I know? That's what you should be saying to yourselves. When you listen to anybody, what do they know? Cardano founder has set an ambitious minimum price of $250,000, citing the influx of institutional capital. Speaking on a podcast with David Gokhestein earlier this week, he forecasted a humongous spike in the crypto market driven by the potential passage of a US stablecoin bill. According to him, such clarity would serve as a catalyst. Institutions think the markets will go parabolic. Sovereign wealth funds are buying crypto. The US is holding Bitcoin. Stablecoin legislation is coming. Apple, Google, Microsoft, XAI. Real-world assets will enter. We're looking at a $20 trillion institutional influx into crypto. Not a lie was said in that. I agree with everything he has just said in there. Totally agree, okay? The video I made about Ondo yesterday, I hold Ondo. I don't make any bones about it. I have held it since about September. Real world assets are not about pumping your alt bags. They're about onboarding real world assets into Web3. We've done it with music. We've brought music online. We've brought films online. We've brought some level of personal banking online. We're yet to bring on the big money. And the big money is stocks and shares, treasury bonds, you name it. That has yet to come online. And that's the biggest of them all. So that's what's coming. And it will bring $20 trillion, but it's not going to pump your bags by $20 trillion. It's going to convert existing assets into digital assets. Very simple. So there is a side effect of that, and it will pump the likes of Chainlink and Ondo and Mantra, and of course it will pump some of the chains, Ethereum certainly, and Solana. So I'm not saying it's not going to have an effect, but don't think we're at 3 trillion now, 20 trillion extra is going to pump my bags by 20x. That's not what it means. So the market shift is going back to blue chip cryptocurrencies. I've been saying the same thing for months. You have to buy assets that will exist in 4-5 years' time. You have to hold assets that make revenue and therefore make a profit. If you don't, you might as well just set fire to your money. You might as well put all of your money in a bucket and burn it. Because if your project that you're investing in doesn't make any money, what happens when it runs out of VC funds? The VCs are over there looking at an AI project. Your project is dead. So be careful. The bull market is just getting started. 760 billion left the market due to tariffs. 710,000 people were liquidated, and yet we recovered in 48 hours. These are hot markets. This cycle is institution-led. Again, I can't disagree with any of that other than this. And if I am wrong, I will be so happy I am wrong, because I hold 60% of my portfolio is Bitcoin. I would be more than happy for Bitcoin to go to $250,000. It's 40% higher than I think. So I would be more than happy with that. And the other side of this is that he's not talking about, he's not talking from being a degen on X. He is on the inside. He is on he's in the inner chambers of the American government, and we don't know what they've got planned because they don't want us to front run them, very simply put. Again, we need to be careful we don't run out of time, so I am going to skip forward a little bit. I thought I had the Bitcoin chart to look at. I don't have the Bitcoin chart to look at, so we're not going to. Suffice to say, 150,000 is my top. If we go to 250,000 and I am wrong, I generally don't care. And if there's one asset that you should hold, and if you hold no other asset but this, it's Bitcoin. Very simply put, I cannot guarantee anything is going to be here in 5 years' time other than Bitcoin. I can't guarantee that Ethereum will have its market position. XRP, Cardano might have taken over. Solana might have taken over. Solana might have had a fundamental problem and it completely blown up and become a different chain. We don't know. But I do think of all the coins you can go for, Bitcoin is your safest bet. Now, Javier Milei risks impeachment after endorsing the 107 million Libra rug pull. This is the headline of the day. What is this going to do to the markets? We're going to look at this. We're going to look at a couple of tweets about it, and I'm going to show you the Solana chart because there's some prices I think Solana could go to if the fallout really does kick in. And there's some stuff by CoffeeZilla, which I'm just too late to put it into the show, where he talks to the guy behind Libra and what's going on. And what he said was unbelievable. How he had the nerve to say it, and the fact that he admitted to securities fraud and everything else. He's going to be going to prison for 20 to 25 years minimum. However, if you don't know what happened, there was the launch of a token over the weekend called Libra. The Solana native Libra token started its rally on the 14th of February. I don't remember it being as far back as that. Would that have been Friday? Maybe. He talked about the project. If it was Friday, it was Friday night because I didn't hear about it until Saturday morning, by which time it was all over. It was a private project dedicated to encouraging the growth of the Argentine economy. He tweets about it there. He does mention here that he is trying to help Argentina grow, but he still endorsed it. No matter how he tries to wrap this up, he should never have tweeted this out. This was a massive, massive faux pas. It rose to 4.56 billion at 10:30 UTC, February the 14th. I don't know what that was. That 4 a.m., 3 a.m. UK time. I don't know. Before falling 94% in 11 hours. So by the time I looked at this, it was midday. Maybe it was 1 o'clock on Saturday. It had already died. Okay, and there is the chart. It looks like every pump and dump you've been sold. It looks like every meme coin that has been created to separate you from your money. And again, I have made a meme coin video about this, which I want you to watch after the stream, an RIP memes video. You need to go and watch it. It's not just a dig at Libra. It's explaining that the market has now changed. The market is not the same meme market it was 2 years ago or a year ago. It's different, and it's changed for the worse because you are now the prey. That's who they're going after, and they are going to find bigger and bigger people to talk about these coins. I don't know how much bigger than the Argentine president you're going to get, but there we go. The scandal embarrasses us on an international scale, said, I imagine, somebody that's going to prosecute Milei. They're going to launch an impeachment request against the president. Opposition lawmaker Leandro Santoro told them. After the collapse, he issued a statement noting he was not aware of the details of the project when he endorsed it, and he had no connection whatsoever. Now, what came out of this, of course, is the fact that somebody had ran off with $107 million. That's the amount of money that they made out of this. He's requested the Anti-Corruption Office to investigate. And again, I think what's going to happen from this, if I'm going to read further down the line, is this individual that was involved, who may or may not be in America or Europe, they are likely to face the consequences in America because that's who they will be prosecuted by. Because I imagine there's an awful lot of American citizens that have been affected by this. So, very quickly, one question that popped up in chat in our my screen isn't displaying. Oh, terrible. Why has it done that? Okay. Let me try this again. I don't know why that has happened. There we go. We're back. Okay. Good morning, Tariq. Thank you for pointing out Kabir. Okay. I don't know why that happened. Maybe I minimized it by accident. So, the question asked in Telegram today was, why are these coins listed on exchanges and decentralized exchanges? Well, first of all, Libra never made it to a centralized exchange because it happened too quickly. It went up and down in 11 hours. It didn't get time to get listed, but it would have done. However, Jupiter, which is the largest aggregator on Solana, it has carried out its own forensic report. This coin that launched, this rug pull that launched, they knew about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, they knew about this, okay? Now, that doesn't mean they know about what was going to happen or the tokenomics. They knew that this was going to be launched. Okay, and I'm not defending Jupiter, I'm just telling you what they are saying. They were unaware of the dealings between the principals, Melee, and the market makers, and were not involved in any way, shape, or form. It was an open secret in meme coin circles that an Argentina coin was going to launch. It was not an open secret, as far as I was aware. It was not an open secret to me. Nobody I knew talked about it. None of the groups I'm in talked about it, so I don't know where this open secret was. So what happened, without boring you to death, there is a thing called a strict list. And that is a list of tokens which are approved. It's also, on Jupiter, you can get a score for the token. And that score is normally between 0 and 100, depending on how high they rank their token. By the time they verified it, it was at 1.5 billion. That was 1 hour after launch. Anyway, the issue is here, you can't lay the blame at the feet of Jupiter. And you cannot lay the blame at the feet of the likes of Murad, or even the Coles that were paid to shill these tokens, okay? Even though they are committing insider trading, even though they are doing this, the people buying these coins, they are the ones responsible, okay? It's the same with a news channel. If a news channel carries stories and you don't like the stories, turn it off. Because if enough people turn it off, they'll change and they'll have different news stories. But the longer that they clickbait you into watching things on TV, the more they'll do it. And they will get more and more and more extreme to get more and more people to watch. And that's unfortunately how the media has gone in the last 2 or 3 years. They've become desperate for eyes. So they talk about stuff which may factually not be true. If you keep buying these meme coins, they're going to keep making more of them. And the more they make, the worse it's going to be. And that's what we're going to talk about when we look at Solana. Many influencers were sent large sums of Libra for free in exchange for bull posting. They were asked to not share that they'd received the tokens for free. Dave Portnoy, who runs Barstool, he was sent 6.5 million tokens but sent them back. Don't think he's an angel because he was doing his own meme coins over the weekend. He then chose to trade the token as he knew it was legit and somehow lost $5 million. He hasn't lost it. He was then refunded for his losses by Hayden personally. The Vapor Cabal claims they received 0 tokens but have admitted to early knowledge. Bubble Maps also discovered the same team launched Melania as well as Libra. Welcome to Crypto. This is what happened, okay? Now we've gone through everything in Libra. Argentina token, pump and dump, same team that did Melania. The guy was on CoffeeZilla admitting to securities fraud, admitting to insider trading, admitting to manipulation and withholding public information. He did all of that. Now, again, another question that was asked, why is Solana faring so badly? The reason Solana and Jupiter and Radium are going to suffer, in my opinion, is the reputation of Jupiter, Solana, Radium is in the gutter, okay? Now, we haven't fallen an awful lot. We've fallen to this line here, which is 183, which, funnily enough, I told you about last week, and I said we could go to 183. And guess what? Today we're at 183. But maybe that isn't the bottom. We've got another level down here, which I've got just below this fib level here, which is at 162. And if it really hits the fan, 120. Okay, if we have a massive market correction, we're going to go to 120. But all the bullish news coming out, I don't think we're going to go down there, but we could certainly see the 160s. Now, what I think should happen, and this is the crux of it, centralized exchanges need to stop listing crap. They need to stop listing anything that has any level of personality associated with it, whether it be political, sporting, or music. They need to come together as a collective and stop listing this crap. They talk about onboarding the next billion people. What do? They list scam after scam after rug pull after rug pull, okay? They talk about being legitimate enterprises. Let's be treated the same as banks do, okay? Banks don't lose you 97% of your money every week. They might do it once every 8 years, but not every week. And I'm not talking about every exchange here, by the way. Let me point that out. I'm talking about specific exchanges. And you are literally handing over your money to the exchange with regards to fees, and you're handing over your money to these cabals. I hate that expression. Rackets, okay? So the exchanges, the centralized exchanges, have got to stop listing these coins. They do it because of trading fees, okay? It's immoral. That's number one. And number two, Jupiter, Radium, Orca, and the big decentralized exchanges are going to have to come up with a plan to stop this from happening. No coin should be allowed to get to 4.5 billion in market cap and come down to 111 million in market cap in 48 hours. It shouldn't be allowed. There needs to be some form of, what's the term for it now? There needs to be a status chamber, okay? A waiting room where these coins go live and nobody's allowed to trade them for 14 days until the team is doxed, until the contract is checked, until the token supply and the token issuance and the contracts are all resolved. Until we do that, we are going to keep seeing this happen time and time again. So if those changes are made to centralized and decentralized exchanges, Solana is going to recover very, very quickly because it's more than just a meme coin. If we see another 4-8 weeks of this kind of crap happening, then this is going to cause Solana to come down here. Why? Who in their right mind is going to buy a Solana ETF? Which institution out there wants to be associated with Solana? Reputational risk is something that you see the cancel culture all the time, don't you? You see people being cancelled for less. What do I mean by being cancelled? Well, they said something in 1976 which offended somebody, and now they've lost their job on TV, okay? Reputational risk is where you are the leader or the CEO of a bank and you're sitting down having lunch with a few of your banking friends. Think American Psycho. And you're all having lunch and you're all comparing the size of your cards and stuff like that. And then somebody says, oh yeah, no, we've just done 2 billion in Sol. And then everyone at the table laughs. You bought that chain, you bought that layer one where all the meme rugs happen. It's not going to happen, is it? So Solana is in a very, very delicate position. And we're not just talking about Libra. We've had Trump. We've had Melania. Before that, we had the Pepe dump. We've had Bonk dump. We've had probably $2 or $3 billion of money taken from people by these cabals, rackets. And it's all happened on Solana. And Solana is going to get ruined. So it's not the case of trying to stop you from making money. It's trying to take away the problem that you've got with greed. And greed is what is killing you. You are too greedy. That's all it is. Had you bought XRP at 30, 40, 50 cents, you would now be sitting at 500% profit. Had you bought Jupe at 45 and 50 cents, you'd now be sitting at what, 90% profit. Had you bought Bitcoin at $25,000, you'd now be sitting at 300+% profit. How much money do you want to make? Because for every one of those that you gain on, every meme coin that you degen $100 into that goes to $1, that just takes away all the profit you've made from crypto. I said to you when I showed you that Ethereum and Bitcoin chart, this is about patience. You need the patience of a saint. And diving into every meme coin is going to wreck you. So my advice is simple before we move on, okay? Don't buy any coin for 3 days. Even if I talk about it, don't buy it for 3 days. So if today Baron Trump coin launches Don't buy it on a Monday. Don't buy it on Tuesday. Don't buy it on Wednesday. Have a look and see what it's doing by Thursday. Okay? And if it's holding its price, fine. Have a look at buying it, because if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Okay? I didn't buy Ondo for 3 months. And that's a solid, potentially blue chip, BlackRock backed business. I didn't buy Near for about 6 months. I don't necessarily buy these coins that I like for a very long time because they've either pumped and I'm waiting for a retracement, or I don't believe the hype. That's the issue. And when it comes to a meme coin, how can a coin go to 4.5 billion and down to 200 or 300 million in the time it takes me to sleep? I'm not a polar bear. I don't sleep for 3 months. I slept for maybe 8 hours. And in 8 hours, hundreds, if not thousands of people lost tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you're on an exchange. Don't trade on a DEX. Trade on your centralized exchange. Stick to the script. Now then, we're going to move on. Sorry about that little rant. It's, what time is it? 11:51. And we've got an awful lot to get through. So I might speed up a little bit. Drop a comment in chat, by the way, if you agree or disagree with anything I've said, by the way. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. If you disagree with me, disagree with me. I'm not going to cut you off. That's not what we're here about. Right then. Odds of a Cardano ETF approval increase. Why is the ADA price still sluggish compared to rivals? It's not sluggish compared to rivals. It's come down the same price. It's come down the same amount. Everything is down. Who wrote this? Again, Crypto Daily. Everything is down. If you're comparing it to X, then maybe it's down. But not if you're comparing it to TON or you're comparing it to Chainlink, it's not down. Excuse me. Oh, I see. Okay, so what happens? This is a paid article where they're trying to promote this utter trash. Ignore it. Don't even look at these coins. They try to promote coins by association. The Cardano ETF is probably going to happen, and it's probably going to happen with Charles's consent. It is a decentralized chain. Having an ETF does go against the decentralized ethos. We know that. But if Cardano is going to be used by central government, then it needs to toe the line, and that would be an ETF. And I was against the ETF for Cardano for a very long time. I didn't think it was going to happen. Then Charles pops up next to Donald Trump and Elon Musk, gives a little wave, smokes a guitar, and I'm thinking, right, we need to be on Cardano. Miles Dowsher, whatever you want to call him, he's just sold out of Solana and a few other coins. He's now all in on Cardano, XRP, and another coin. Can't remember which one it is, but he's all in on Cardano and XRP. Not something you would have expected him to have said 12 months ago. ADA is struggling to break out. Cardano is seeing increased speculation after Grayscale's push for the Cardano ETF, but price action isn't reflecting the hype. Institutional interest could provide long-term upside. ADA has struggled to break key resistance levels, leaving traders questioning the ETF narrative alone. Absolute nonsense. This is an article published to promote DTX, which we are not going to do. We're going to talk about Cardano because that's the only coin you should be buying out of this article, not some crap token called DTX, which I've said 3 times now. Now then, let's just put things into context, shall we? We were in October, before the pump, we were at 33 cents. We're now at 80 cents. So we're 150% up since October. We're in February, 5 months, okay? Now, again, there is a distinct correlation between certain assets at this moment in time in crypto, and that is, like my slice of bread and butter, the bull market support band. There are coins which are sitting on it, and there are coins which are nowhere near it. Ethereum has gone through the floor, okay? It will come back, but look at Cardano. Sitting or falling through and recovering, for me, is fairly bullish, okay? The RSI on the daily is low. The price is sitting at the bull market support band. It looks like we might actually have a cross happening in there. I'm not going to zoom in. We're not here for that. As I said on whatever last day I copied this, let's move this line up here to about there. We need to break this line here, I would say, to break the lower high. So we need to get back above 114 cents, sorry. That's a fair old trek away from us. Okay, but that's the target. We are going to have a pump at some point soon. Maybe this week, maybe next week, maybe the week after. We're going to have a pump, okay? I have been telling you now for a while that February and March is going to be the next leg up, and I stand by that. Now, am I going to be out by 3 or 4 weeks? Maybe. Maybe it doesn't happen till March, and maybe it's March till April, but we're going to have a pump. There's too much good news to come out, and maybe they're withholding the good news to keep the price here so they can accumulate more. Maybe. Who knows? But we are going to move up from here. We're going to break 113. I think we're going to be looking at a $1.40, $1.30 Cardano very, very soon. And that's not hopium. That is based on the fact that there's so much good news to come out that people think we're in a bear market all of a sudden because Bitcoin's 10% below its all-time highs and the alts are getting wrecked. Welcome to Bitcoin dominance. Okay, if you want to know about Bitcoin dominance, go and follow Ben Cowan. He talks about it all the time. He's far better at Bitcoin dominance than I am. Now then, I do not normally talk about coins that have pumped. Okay, I'm still monitoring Bitcoin for 12 years and haven't bought it yet. Well, you know what? That's a safe investor. That is a safe investor. Now then, I think we're going to look at the chart as well on this, aren't we? Yes. Now then, this is mantra or OM. Okay. Now, I'm not going to blow my own trumpet, but I did tell you that anything below 90 cents for OM, anything below 90 cents for OM is a bargain. Now, even I didn't predict this price pump, and I'm going to show you the chart in a minute. This token has pumped 144% in 3 months. Where it is. Here it is. Real world asset sector has grown in recent months. In the last 3 months, coins have jumped 144% to 62.7 billion, while the total value of tokenized real world assets has gone to 17.3 billion, up 13%. RWA coins market cap has surged 144%. We talked about that. The most striking growth has come in the last 3 months, with the market cap jumping from 25.7 on November the 4th, an impressive 144% rise. Now, work it back, ladies and gentlemen, work it back. November the 5th, December, January, February. Who won the election in America? Donald Trump. What have we talked about on this channel before? We talked about narratives. The narrative was not on real world assets. And I told you at the time, real world assets, they're not going to go anywhere, but they're not in the narrative. I'm telling you now about virtual AI tokens. AI tokens are not in the narrative right now, but they will be again, and that's when the coins will pump. These people, they go through cycles of talking about coins, and it's either market driven, in this case it's market driven, or it's advertising revenue driven, where they're paid to talk about things. And that can be negative or positive. I talked about the fact that I think that Cardano was negatively attacked at the start of last year, and I think XRP was also targeted. We know that CZ and BNB was targeted by a certain Sam Bankman-Fried. We know about all of that. But just because something isn't being talked about doesn't make it a bad investment. Now, in fairness, we talked about Ondo in my video yesterday, and this is not about Ondo. This is about Mantra. Now, I'm not going to go and tell you to go and buy Mantra. I'm never going to tell you to buy anything, but I am going to tell you to look at this chart. It's gone up 30% in the last week. Both of these names are smaller, or were smaller. Now they're not smaller because they've surged. Is this just going to keep repeating the same thing? Let's go and have a look at the chart. It was a Sunday. I didn't do a lot of these articles reading, but the point of the matter is I want to talk about Mantra. Now, I'm not going to cover what I covered in the video. Go and watch the video. I'm not going to tell you about that now. Okay, this is the daily chart for Mantra. Now, I do not know why there is a line in there. So we'll get rid of that line. Mantra. We made the video on Mantra probably sometime here. Now, at the time, the layer 1 wasn't live. And in my video that I made, I said September is going to be the line in the sand where we see if Mantra is really going to take off or not, because that was when it was going to launch its layer 1. Now, what does Mantra and Ondo do? Ondo and Mantra have now both got a layer 1 blockchain, which means they can host other projects. Mantra specializes in onboarding real-world asset projects, whether it's to do with real estate, stocks and shares, or commodities, whatever it might be. That is what Mantra is built for. Ondo is a different kettle of fish. Go and watch my video on it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But Mantra, I said September was the deadline. Now, it didn't do anything at all before September. It was still at 125. In fact, it went as far as the 14th of November. Maybe they delayed the launch. Maybe the launch didn't happen on time. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Now, what you've seen from now to here has been explosive. That is probably a 45-degree angle, okay? Now, nothing goes up forever in a straight line, okay? Maybe you thought it would do at this point. Maybe you think it's going to do it at this point. And I am here to tell you it is not. Mantra from here is going to do one of two things, depending on the market sentiment and the market news, whether Bitcoin pumps or not, of course. Doesn't this look like what Bitcoin does? It takes legs up and then it pauses, and then it takes a leg up again and then it pauses. And what it does is it creates these beautiful levels of support. Okay, I don't care about it being accurate. It's really not the point. Okay, this is just a rough price history, okay, of where it's gone to. Now, we've seen on the previous two pumps that the price hasn't come back down. So what I'm saying to you is, we've had two daily closes at $7.45, and we're currently sitting at $7.45. So the market cap then comes into play. It's got a very large market cap, okay, and the market cap has gone to quite a substantial amount very quickly. And I think we need to have a breather, okay? If you want to start buying it at $7.44, you are perfectly entitled to do that. But I think we need to have either a consolidation or a move down. Look at the RSI. The RSI is still 60s, almost 70. It's high. It's slightly overbought. I think if you're going to get into Mantra, and I'm not going to get into Mantra, by the way, full disclosure, I think this horse is bolted. If we were going to buy it, we were going to buy it down here. Why didn't I buy it down there? Because it wasn't listed on any of the 4 exchanges that I have got my funds on. I couldn't buy it, okay? And that is a regret. Of course it's a regret, because I could have got it for 80 or 90 cents. But I was buying XRP. I was buying Cardano. I was buying lots of other coins which have gone up. Not necessarily as high as this. So the question is, where do we think this could come down to? Well, in all seriousness, I'd look for it to come down to about $6. And if we are really, 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 really lucky, maybe that fib level there at 420. That's where I'd like to see it come down to. But this doesn't look like it's going to do that. And I don't think, by the way, the one thing I don't think is going to happen, I'm not going to sit on the fence much about this, I don't think we're going to see this. Okay? I don't think we're going to see that. Because unless there's some news that's come out in the last 48 hours that I don't know about, another 30% leg up is going to give it a way too high market cap. I think if the profit taking from the people who bought here, this was probably the profit taking here. And now we're into the new holders. And then the question then is, are the new holders going to look at a move from 380 to 740, 100% move. Is that enough for them to sell? Maybe not, maybe not. I don't think so. So I think we're going to do, as I said, one or two things. We're going to come down and then we're going to break out, or we're going to copy what we did and just hang around here. I think there's going to be a profit take. I mean, we could do this and come down to these levels, but I think if you want to get in $5 to $6, but don't just jump into this, okay? It's gone up really quickly. I know the project has gone live. I know it's one of those coins where you could have got it for 3 or 4 cents at the start of last year. I know all of those things, but it wasn't live. And you have to look at potential versus deliverables, which is exactly what I said in the video. The potential of this coin is massive, but until they deliver, it's still speculation. Now it's live, it's still not delivering, but it's less speculation and more deliverables. So for me, real world assets are back on the menu, and they're back on the menu as mains, not starters, and certainly not puddings. The puddings are the people out there buying Libra. You are the pudding if you buy Libra, okay? That's a northern expression, by the way, pudding. Right then, XRP surpasses Ethereum amongst Japanese investors. It's 1206, we've really overran. Basically, XRP is getting a foothold everywhere. It's becoming the talked about token. But my advice on this would be, don't chase the narrative. Don't think because Japan has gone out to buy XRP, that means Ethereum is dead. It certainly doesn't. Anyway, I think that is pretty much, yes, I've made the screen disappear, and yes, we've gone on to here. Look at that, as if by magic. I'll make myself a little bit smaller. Right then, some news for the end of the show. Oh, got some questions. Camino Finance airdrop. Okay, right. Camino Finance, I thought they were going to do another airdrop at the end of December. It never happened. Not only did it not happen, they've not talked about it. I don't know when it's going to be. There's no news about Camino Finance. End of the bull run for I'd say if you can get in at $5, it's likely to go to 15. Okay. But if you think about your risk return, getting in at 5 with potentially going to 15 is decent. Buying it now and it may be only going to 10, you're only getting a 30-odd% return for all that stress. So if it comes back down in price, if it comes to $4, I'd stock up and I would be buying it at that price. But it's not. It needs to have a retracement. Every coin that's done something similar in the last 2 years has retraced. And I think it will. I think there'll be profit taking, especially if Bitcoin goes on another march. Anyway, the reason we're on full screen very quickly then before everybody goes, I think you're all going to go anyway. There's no stream tomorrow. I am back at the hospital for another eye checkup. So there's no stream tomorrow. On Wednesday, there are 2 streams. We have our Wednesday night game show called Quid Games, where you can interact and you can win. That's on Wednesday night. I'm going to put some tweets up and put it in Telegram and stuff like that to remind everybody. So no stream tomorrow. No stream tomorrow. I don't want to come home from the doctors to find everybody typing when stream. I am not streaming tomorrow. The appointment's at 10:20. Getting there and getting back, it's likely to be midday before I'm home. Then maybe I can do a stream in the afternoon or record some videos. So there's no stream then. So two on Wednesday. Maybe I stream on Thursday, but normally I have the Thursday off if I stream twice on Wednesday and then I stream on Friday. So it's all of this week is messed up. So this week is Monday, Wednesday twice, Friday. And the Oracle is streaming tonight and maybe Friday as well. So the Oracle will be live in about 9 hours from now. Anyway, thank you, Tariq, Kabir, KB, everybody for tuning in. See you all Wednesday.